Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. You know, I am completely distracted by the paving project that's going on out here. There's machines, there's noise, it's cool stuff happening out here, and I just want to watch it all day long.
Oh, okay.
But obviously I can't. But I'm monitoring it.
That's your job.
Yeah, I'm monitoring it. Okay, so in other real news, the board had a workshop meeting last night. They meet in a workshop session once a month, and they take up one or two topics for an extended period of time, an hour, hour and a half. Last night they did a quick item at the beginning, which was to give a summary of the town manager's performance evaluation, which is supposed to be an annual event. They gave a summary. It's public, so I'm sure it's in the paper today. And I have, they also approved my contract, my employment contract for a 3-year period. You okay
All
with that?
right. I was looking for, I got my glasses.
Oh yeah, you can't be without those.
No, I can't.
So, it's
So
good
is
news
that
for
good?
me anyway, yeah.
Did you get a raise?
I did. Yes,
Ooh.
I did. And that's all in the paper too.
All right.
And we'll post the employment contract online so everybody can see what the big raise is. But it was very nice of the board, so I appreciate the evaluation and the raise and the contract. We also had a lot of discussion about a study that we've undertaken with VHB, Vanessa Hengen Breslin, a consulting firm, about bulk fuel, and the feasibility of relocating the downtown tank farm to out of town. Now, you might be thinking, haven't I heard this before? Because yes, we've done several studies prior to this one about moving the tank farm out of town. And this time, I think we're really going to do something, because it's time now. And the involved parties, I think, are getting more aligned to figure something out, to say it like that. So there was a lot of discussion about things like what types of fuel are brought over to the island, how are they brought over, how much, where is the storage, how much storage for each type of fuel, things like that. So the study is online. We had a nice little, I'll put it over there, summary of the study last night that our consultant went through. That will also be online. So if you're overwhelmed, you don't have to go through the very, very thick report, which I threw that on the floor too. It's a pretty thick report, but it's detailed and interesting actually. So a lot of discussion about that. Sure, yes.
So they're going to move this where?
Well, okay.
What's the possibilities?
The possibilities include some industrially zoned land that the town owns out by the airport. There may or may not be a possibility of airport property. Now let's remember, the town of Nantucket owns the airport. So the airport commission, though, has jurisdiction over the property. So there's some, we would obviously want to bring them into the discussion. Those are the sites that we're talking about.
All right, and then the tanks that are there now?
Would theoretically be removed, and something else would happen down there.
We don't know, though.
We don't know,
That
because
land
we don't
is
own
not
the
in
property.
good shape, though, right? That land is...
Well, some of it has been cleaned up per environmental requirements and regulations. I don't really know what the status is of the environmental cleanup that would or wouldn't be necessary in the fuel tank area. I'm sure there's probably
We could make it
some.
parking?
Well, when
Or
you
no?
say we, the town
The
does
town.
not own that land, any of it.
Oh,
So other people own it. So I think it's probably in the best interest of all the parties to get together and try to come up with some sort of planning, because they're going to need zoning approval, they're going to need other types of permits. So it's in their best interest, including the town, to get involved in discussions with all the various property owners.
Who owns that property anyway?
Winthrop
Okay.
owns it, and National Grid is right there.
Yep.
So there's discussions to be had. NIR, Nantucket Island Resorts, owns some adjacent property.
Right.
It's
Okay.
complicated and complex
Yeah, but
situation down there.
It's a good thing.
But it's a good thing. You could have a park, you could have parking, you could have hotels, shops, retail. There's a lot of possibilities. So
Yeah.
anyway, there's that whole thing I think is going to really get underway for real. We also had a discussion about annual town meeting, a review of the action that needs to be taken now. There's a lot of follow-up. The prep is a big deal, but the follow-up is a big deal as well. So we talked about that.
Turnout? Bad,
Turnout, yeah, not good.
lousy.
Not
Going
good.
back to the old system, maybe?
Well, the board didn't really go down that road of switching. So I think they'll talk about it again when it comes time to scheduling the 2015 annual town
Right.
meeting. Actually, what am I saying? They did have a little bit of conversation about that, and there was a suggestion that maybe we move the town meeting earlier in March.
Yep.
That gets a little difficult from an administrative point of view because the earlier you have it, the less reliable your projections are going to be for budgets and things. And then there was a feeling that, well, move it earlier and people are involved in sports and stuff. And no matter when you have it, people are going to complain and they're not going to be able to come.
Well, they gotta start coming. I mean, the turnout was terrible.
The turnout was not very good, no.
And I mean, how much money did we spend? What did we decide on? Millions.
Millions of,
Hundreds
millions. Oh,
Hundreds
yes.
of millions was
Yes.
decided on a very small amount of
Yes,
people that
that's
showed up.
exactly.
Okay.
Yep,
They gotta understand that.
they do. What else is happening? Next week, board meeting. It's public hearing Wednesday, and we have some public hearings. We have a hearing on Millie's, the restaurant in Matticat, to change their liquor license premises to add additional seating inside and outside. Now, Millie's is at the planning board right now, and depending on what happens at the planning board on Monday, the 12th, the 14th, the board will or will not take it up on Wednesday. If the planning board has not made a decision yet, the board isn't going to take this up on Wednesday, I don't think. So that's a big deal. We've been getting a lot of letters and emails about Millie's,
Oh,
both
really?
pro and con. So
What is the overall issue? What do they wanna do?
they want to add seating inside and out. They want to have some more entertainment, I think, or not entertainment, service outside, liquor service.
Liquor service. And change of hours?
No change of hours.
Well, how late are they open till?
I think they're open till 1:30.
Oh, okay, so it would be
1:30?
late. It
Oh,
could
yeah.
be late, and there
Yeah.
could be people outside late.
Well, there could be conditions that the board puts on the license.
Right.
I don't know what
Right.
they're going to do.
Right,
But
okay.
there are condition options. But people in Matticat have opinions, strong opinions. So they're
Whoa, they
all being
do.
expressed right now.
You bet.
What else do we have? We have an application for a new seasonal wine and beer license, package store license, for a business on Amelia Drive. That's also generating a little bit of letter writing.
Ooh, a package store, huh?
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, well, there's some concern about another one.
Okay.
We also have a public hearing to consider what's called basically a junk license. It's called a dealer in or keeper of a shop for the purchase, sale, or barter in junk, old metals, and secondhand articles. There are also, I think, some concerns about this license, and I'm not sure if the board's going to take specific action next week. The chief wanted to be here, police chief. He won't be here next week, and there may be some things the board wants to investigate a little further
Are
on
they
this
just,
license.
is a lot of this stuff larger than smaller?
I don't even know. I don't know.
So why would that be a problem?
We don't have any rules and regulations right now for a business like this because we've never issued a license like this.
Oh, I see.
So there's a concern that maybe we should have the rules and regulations before we go issuing licenses, although it's possible that we could do the rules and regulations later and put conditions on the license that would normally be incorporated into the rules and regulations. So we'll have to see how it goes. We have some budget issues. The airport, the island home, and the general fund, we're going to get third quarter fiscal year 14 review reports on those. And those are the major items for next week. We're also opening Hummock Pond next week for people who might be interested in that, probably Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, one of those days. Got to make sure the tides, the moon, the wind, the blah, blah, blah is all lined up. The sewer project. So as I'm saying here, the sewer project is winding down where the roads are getting repaved. I need to follow up the DPW because yesterday someone asked if the roads were going to be torn up again and the project isn't complete next fall. My understanding is, and we'll confirm this at the selectmen's meeting next week, but my understanding is that the project is basically done. There may be some additional work here and there that needs to be completed that couldn't get completed in time for this year, understandably so with weather issues. But my understanding is that the streets are not going to be massively torn up like they were this year. It would be more isolated, compact areas, but I'm going to double check on that. That's what's going on.
Wow.
What's going on with you? Is there anything to know?
Oh, well,
or do you have any questions?
Yeah, aren't you going somewhere?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm going somewhere today. I'm going to the Cape Cod Managers Meeting. They have a monthly meeting at a different town each month.
Where are you
and
going? Which
going
town?
to Dennis today.
Nice.
Yes. My town manager friend from Barnstable, Tom Lynch, is going to pick me up at the airport and take me to the meeting and bring me back.
Oh, they love you over there?
Well,
I mean,
I love them.
do you feel like you get a better understanding of your job
Oh,
when
yes.
you
Oh,
meet them?
absolutely. Definitely.
It is actual work. It's not just
It's not just sitting around talking and eating. No. Everybody always has something. Today they're talking about regional dispatch, which is not anything that has to do with us. So that's a little bit beyond my scope of interest, shall I say? Maybe not interest. It's certainly quite interesting. Beyond my scope of having anything to do with it. Maybe I should say it like that.
They probably have to know that.
Oh yeah, well they're all involved in it. So it's a whole big thing. We're probably also going to talk about town meetings, who's had their town meeting yet, what came up, how did it go, stuff like that, and upcoming elections. And there's always somebody always has a question about something, and I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to mention a little thing involving you today, right?
Go ahead.
That Gino's going to be doing what should we call this? A Cape Cod tour?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing,
do a
and
show over
visiting
there.
all the towns, and talking to the local folk, right?
We're going to discover the Cape for the first time in 15 years. I've never really done it. We're going to go over and
That's
look at
going
the
to be
Cape
very cool.
and discover the Cape, and people can watch it here, and if they find it interesting, they can go over there, and at least they'll know something a little bit more than they might.
So I'm going to let the town managers know that Gino's on his way.
Yeah, I want to meet them all if I can. But
very good. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I should go over. I should probably accompany you to make the
that
proper.
I know.
So I can be the point of contact, the POC.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's fine. I can happen though.
We'll bring you over sometime.
Okay, we could coordinate it with a.
Of course we could.
Managers meeting.
Why not?
Hey, that might be cool. I would have to check though. I'm not in charge of
You
any
do it in
managers
May.
meetings.
You got another one coming in May.
We have another one
Early
coming in May. It's always the second Thursday.
Oh, okay. Hey, it might work out.
At least is this
That might work out.
Is this the second Thursday of April? Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it
This
is.
is the second Thursday.
That's right.
Yeah, that might work out, but I have to. It's got to be cleared.
Let's clear it.
Yeah, I'll try. I'm a junior member,
Oh, okay.
sort of.
All
Not
right.
really. Okay, so I guess that's about it.
I think so.
Thank you very much. See you next time.